Hey guys! So, if you're thinking, weren't you just wearing that outfit? I was. I'm filming multiple videos today because yesterday was kind of a giant fail for me. I cracked off a piece of one of my molars while eating nachos with my friend on Monday night. So yesterday I had to go to the dentist, get that situation taken care of. Needless to say, my face was numb for like 6 hours, and if you ever tried to put liquid lipstick on when you can't physically feel your lips, it's very weird and not the best. So I was gonna film last night, but then I just decided I wasn't really feeling up to it, didn't really want to do it, did some other stuff, so we're filming some back-to-back videos today. I actually just finished editing the video that went up on Wednesday, so if you haven't seen my 8 brands that I wanted to try in 2018 follow-up, that video was the other day. But today we're gonna be getting into the beauty report for November. How is it the end of November already? I don't understand. This year has gone by so fast, and I know time doesn't change, but I swear as I get older it feels like it gets faster. So today we're going to be talking about a bunch of beauty products that I've been playing with, testing out over the course of the last month, giving you some updates and some more in-depth thoughts on my feelings towards them. A lot of these products you probably have seen in previous videos this month. A few of them, this is the first time you're going to be hearing about them, but they're all stuff I've played with quite a bit. I made myself a cup of tea. Usually these videos are pretty chatty and kind of long, so I figured this would be helpful. It's a hot chocolate tea from David's Tea. Delicious, would recommend. So yeah, with all of that being said, why don't we get into this month's beauty report? So I'm gonna get these guys out of the way first because I feel like I've talked about them in like my last 3 consecutive videos. You're probably sick of hearing about them, but I do want to just kind of give my final thoughts. So I finally picked up some products from Fenty Beauty this month during the Sephora VIB sale. I just talked about these in my 8 brands I wanted to try in 2018 video because Fenty was on that list. So if you want to really see more of my thoughts on these products, go watch that video. I will link it for you guys up in the cards. I would say of the 3 things I picked up, which are the Diamond Balm and then this little gift set that had the little highlighter and the Gloss Balm. The Gloss Balm is probably my favorite of all these products. I think it's a beautiful gloss. It's a really lovely color. It is a bit more of a thicker, stickier gloss texture. Like, it doesn't make your lips stick together, but it does have more of that goopy gloss feeling, so I don't think everyone's gonna love this, but it has beautiful shine. It looks really nice on its own or layered over a lip liner or a lipstick. So I'm glad that I got to finally try this, but I'm honestly very glad I got it in a mini because I never finish a lip product, so I think this will be the perfect amount for me. I'm honestly still kind of on the fence about the Diamond Balm though. I still have the box and I ordered this online, so I could return it possibly, and I'm kind of like going back and forth because it's very beautiful. The packaging is so pretty, but honestly, like, packaging does not matter at the end of the day. You have to like the product that's inside, and I do think that it's really pretty. I just keep asking myself, is it actually worth it? Honestly, this is like to me, like a body shimmer because I know I'm not going to wear this glittery of a highlight on my face on any kind of a regular basis. I've worn it on my eyes and it is really pretty, but just considering how expensive this is and what I could get for the same amount of money, I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, honestly, I feel like this is one of those products that has a lot of hype around it because it's shiny and it's pretty, but if you were thinking about getting this, honestly, you probably could pass over it because unless you're wearing like a lot of tops and things that you're going to have your décolleté exposed and you can really like show off the shimmer, I feel like you're not going to have that many opportunities to get much use out of this. So I don't know. I may return it, which is really sad because I don't know. I think my money would be better spent elsewhere possibly. And I think what is making me lean towards returning the Fenty Diamond Balm is actually this next product. So when I placed that order during the Sephora VIB sale, I was eyeballing this guy, which is the Huda Beauty Nude palette. And it looked beautiful, but I was hemming and hawing because it's a very expensive palette, but I could get the 20% off. And ultimately, I decided to go with the Fenty, and I did not get this. And then the sale ended, and I was like, whatever, it's fine. And then they decided to extend the sale for an additional weekend. and I was like, dang it, I had like just this feeling, this was in the back of my mind, and I was kind of like, maybe I should have ordered the Huda. So I sucked it up. I was at the mall on Sunday of that weekend with my husband having dinner for our anniversary, and I bought this. And honestly, this palette is so freaking stunning. I'm so glad that I got it, that it's kind of making me regret the money that I spent on the Fenty highlighter, just because I feel like I'm going to get so much more use out of this than I am out of that. And considering how much money it was, I would have rather put that towards this palette, you know? So let me show you this thing of beauty right here. This is an 18 pan eyeshadow palette, and it's primarily pinky, rosy, mauvey, purple kind of tones. It's not really like a nude neutral palette, even though it's called Nude. I personally love this color story though. It's very much up my alley, which is why I wanted to purchase this. The other thing about this palette is that the textures in here of some of these shadows is so unique. These like hyper foiled duochromatic shades have a texture unlike anything else I've ever used. You see the swatches in the pictures online and it looks so stunning, and you ask yourself, is it really that good in person? And it is. Like, let me just, okay, this shade here is called Fantasy. I'm gonna just swatch this guy for you so maybe you can understand. Can we see, like, just the reflectiveness of this? It's kind of got this, like, duochrome shift to it. They're all duochromatic shades. It's so pretty. But it is kind of a pain in the butt to work with, I'm not gonna lie. The mattes in here, absolutely stunning, piece of cake. But those duochrome shimmer shades, they are a little finicky because they're not like a traditional foiled shadow. They don't really mix well with like a setting spray. I find they get like this weird chunky texture to them. Honestly, I think they're best applied over a glitter glue. That to me has really made them pop and still have a lot of sparkle. I typically like to apply them with my fingers instead of a brush, just because I think you pick the product up better with your finger. A brush may not have enough like grip to it, and it kind of just makes the product flake everywhere. That's just been my experience. But honestly, I just love all of the looks that I've been creating with this palette. I've been wearing it constantly. It's actually what's on my eyes right now. I primarily use this shade here called Teddy, and also the shade Raw, a little bit of this kind of like peachy shade down here called Play, and then I think I have Crave, which is this kind of lighter color here all over my lid, and then I put a little bit of the Pixie Liquid Fairy Lights on top in rose gold. Perfection. So if you were eyeing this palette, let me swatch a matte for you so you guys can just see. It's like, look at how like buttery that is, and just like beautifully pigmented. It blends out so nicely. If you have this on your wish list, if you've been thinking about picking it up, if it speaks to you, I think the quality is excellent. It's very expensive, that is true, but you are getting a lot of product in here. And actually, I did a full comprehensive review of this palette on my blog, so I will link that for you guys in the description box with swatches of the entire palette. I talk about the value, the breakdown per gram, I talk about the performance, and basically like all of my thoughts on this guy. So if you want to read more about it, see some more pictures, check out the blog post. But long story short, I'm really glad that I got this. I definitely feel like I'm going to get a ton of use out of it. It's a beautiful palette. If you want it, I say go get it. So this is something I was sent from COOLA, I think maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's their Daydream Mineral Primer, and I have been absolutely obsessed with this since I got it. Like basically since day one, since the first time I tried it, I've been hooked, and this is pretty much the only primer that I've been wanting to use. So the first thing I thought when I tried this for the first time is that this is like identical in so many ways to the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. Like the texture, the consistency, the way that it feels on the skin. I think if you put these two primers side by side in matching containers, you would not be able to know which one is which. That's how similar they are. But honestly, this guy is cheaper. It has better sun protection, and it has some really nice skincare ingredients in it. It's got like different flower extracts and plant stem cells to help improve the quality of your skin. Like, COOLA is a great brand. I love their sunscreens in general, so I kind of trust them when it comes to making a makeup primer that has sunscreen in it. And because this one is all mineral-based sunscreens, for me, it doesn't irritate my skin at all. I can't really do the chemical sunscreen thing. So this has 4% zinc oxide and 2.3% titanium dioxide. But yeah, basically this feels like silk. It goes onto your skin so smooth and it just makes your makeup go on beautifully. Plus it's giving your skin that sun protection and it's creating a barrier between your skin and your makeup, just kind of to keep your skin a little bit more clear, a little bit healthier. So honestly, if you're a fan of the Hourglass primer but you don't like the price tag, that's like, you know, $50 something, check this out because it's not cheap for sure. I think this one is still in the high $30 price point, but you'll save yourself like over $10 going this route. And it's a fantastic primer. Really, really happy I got a chance to try this. Loving it. While we're on the topic of complexion products, I've been obsessing over this duo right here. This has been my go-to lately, and it's a very unexpected combination of foundations. So earlier this month, I actually did a dupe tested video using the ColourPop No Filter Foundation, putting this head-to-head with the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Foundation, which is like one of my favorite high-end foundations. Having very oily skin, it's got really beautiful coverage, it stays pretty matte on me, but it's very lightweight and it's not heavy on the skin. This guy here ended up looking like identical. Not only is this shade, which is medium 80, like the same as Latte, which is the shade I wear in the Laura Mercier foundation, but the way they finished on the skin and the amount of coverage, you could not tell a difference. It was crazy. Again, we'll link that video for you guys in the cards if you want to watch it, if you haven't seen it yet. That was a fun wear test day. But this color is a little bit too dark for me now that it's almost winter. I don't have a tan anymore, unfortunately, so I need to lighten this up by mixing it with another foundation. And I got this guy from TJ Maxx for $10 at the beginning of November. I think I talked about this in my haul video that I did a few weeks back. And the combination of these two together seems to work beautifully. It's the foundation that I'm wearing on my skin right now. This is the shade Golden Ivory, so again, mixing that with medium 80, and together it's like the perfect color for my skin right now. The consistency of the formula in both of these foundations is very, very similar. They both are very liquidy, so I think they mix together well. Some foundations, if they have very different ingredients, they don't really mesh, but these work together so beautifully. So this is the combo I've been rocking. I love it. I actually haven't worn this guy on its own yet because it's too light for me wearing it by itself. I kind of would like to pick up a darker shade at some point because I think I would enjoy this foundation just on its own. I love the BarePro powder. If you've been watching my videos, you guys know that's like one of my top favorite foundations of life. So it's really unsurprising to me that I like the liquid. Now, if you guys watched my Black Friday recommendations video, I talked about Neon & Co. and their ridiculous sale and how I wanted to pick up 15 of their hair ampoules because they were only $1. And I didn't get 15, but I got 5. These little things are kind of incredible. I'm really into it. Essentially, what this is kind of like a hair serum. They call it their hair shot ampoule. After you wash and condition your hair, you towel dry it so it's very damp. You basically just take one of these little bottles and you just shake it through your whole head from scalp all the way through to the ends. Depending on how much hair you have, you may not need to use the whole thing, or maybe you would need more if you had super, super long hair. My hair right now is kind of like down to this range, and I didn't need to use the whole thing. I only really needed to use like half of one. So essentially, this is a super, super hydrating treatment for your hair and for your scalp. And I was having some like crazy dandruff issues, which is weird for me. Like, it's not something that happens often. In the last year, all of a sudden, it's like been a thing I've been dealing with. I don't know, welcome to your 30s. This is my life now. So I had a couple of these for when I went to Gen Beauty, and I decided that I was gonna give it a whirl and see maybe if it could kind of help get my situation back in balance. So I washed my hair, I scrubbed my scalp down really well, and after I conditioned, I stuck half one of these guys all in my hair. I blow dried it, and let me tell you guys, my hair was like silk. It was so soft. It was not weighed down at all. Like, it didn't look greasy. It didn't feel grimy or weird. It just felt incredible. It felt so nice, and my scalp was immediately so much better. Way less flaky. It was a much better situation. I was really happy. So when I saw that these were on sale, I stocked up because I definitely feel like going into winter with it being really dry, I'm gonna need these in my life. Another kind of random thing I've been sort of obsessed with this month is the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Kiss Cupuacu Lip Butter. It's lip balm. It's chapstick. I got this at Gen Beauty. It is, oh my god, the most delicious freaking lip balm, and it makes your lips feel so soft. It's massive, so it's just very satisfying to apply. I love everything about this. I don't know what the scent of this is, because it's not the same as the Boom Boom Cream. Like, it doesn't have quite the same fragrance, but it's sweeter. It's like toffee or like some like brown sugar, like that kind of a smell. Oh my god, it's amazing. I freaking love this. This lives in my purse, and I basically slather it on every single day. I've been going back and forth, honestly, between this and the Winky Lux Matcha Lip Balm. That one is also super incredible. Makes your lips so soft. It doesn't like have that lip balm addiction kind of thing where you have to keep putting it on or your lips get dried out. None of that. I mean, it's kind of expensive. I'm pretty sure this retails for $18 or $19, which is a lot to spend on a chapstick. But I feel like at least it's like hefty. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck. So Sigma sent me this really crazy PR package earlier this month that just blew my mind. It was insane. Very, very appreciative for that. And in it were their new blush and Sculpt palettes. So I've been playing around with these a bit. And honestly, I'm not blown away by these. Like, I really wanted to love them because I love Sigma with my whole heart. But these are not my favorite face palettes that I've ever tried. I think of the two, I like the blush palette better. I think if I was going to make a recommendation, this would be the one I would say. If you were between the two, get the blush palette. I think this guy will work more versatilely for more people in that you've got 6 different shades in here. A few of them are matte, a few of them have a bit of a sheen to them. This Tiger Lily shade is really beautiful. It actually has a very strong gold shimmery shift to it with no glitter or anything like that, but it looks like you're wearing a highlight when you have this blush on. So if you kind of want like a one and done cheek color, that one's really nice. Cor de Rosa is like one of my favorite blush shades of life. I have that one in a single. It goes with everything, so it's stunning. Mod Mauve, this is a really beautiful fall and winter kind of shade. I love those plummy tones for this time of year. Spiced is the only one if you're very, very fair, like this is going to be super dark on you. You could use it as an eyeshadow though. It would be really beautiful in like the crease as like a contouring shade. And then you have Pinkin, which is kind of like your standard cool toned pink blush. Again, pretty flattering on just about everybody. This guy here, Pet Name, I don't really know what to think about this because it's kind of matte. To me, it's almost more like a pinky highlight shade or like a matte toned highlight, which I don't really wear very often. Like, it's too pink to like set your under eyes with. I wouldn't necessarily do that. This guy kind of confuses me. I almost wish they put in like a soft sheeny highlight in this palette. That would have made more sense to me, but I suppose like if you were going to use that shade for something, that would be its purpose. And then the Sculpt palette, this guy has 3 shimmery shades up here and then 3 matte shades. Now, the problem I have with this is kind of the same problem I have with all contouring palettes. If you're a makeup artist, it's great to have a variety of different shades to work on different skin tones because obviously these 3 highlighters are not all going to work on the face of the same person, just like these 3 contouring shades are not going to flatter every single skin tone. If you were buying this for yourself, you could use these shades on your eyes to get more use out of them, but if you're looking specifically for a face palette, some ways to contour and highlight, odds are you're not going to be able to use everything in this palette. Also, I kind of felt like the mattes in here weren't the smoothest when I applied them to the skin. Every time I've used these, they've been just like a little bit patchy. And honestly, I'm not really sure if it's me, if it's my technique, if it's other products that I'm wearing it with, if it's the brushes that I'm using, or if it's the actual product itself. But when push comes to shove, makeup shouldn't be that hard, basically, in my opinion, especially for the everyday consumer. I want something that's going to blend really easily and that I'm not going to have to work with necessarily in a very specific way to make it look good. Because if I'm struggling and I'm a makeup junkie, someone that's not as obsessed with makeup is going to really struggle. That being said, like I've seen videos of like Jordan Liberty using this palette on models and oh my god, it looks incredible. But of course, he's a professional makeup artist and kind of like a magical wizard when it comes to makeup. So maybe if you know what you're doing, you can make this look beautiful. Again, I think you could use these as eyeshadows. It could look really nice, but it's just not something that I've like used and been like, oh my god, this is the most amazing face palette ever. I definitely would say of the two, the blush is the better way to go. So I've just got two last things to talk about. One of them, again, I've talked about a lot recently, so I'm going to make this very brief, but I've been playing around with the Persona Color Theory Kit in Copper a lot this month. I was sent this from the brand because they asked me to use it in a tutorial for their YouTube channel, which was so awesome. Definitely will link that for you guys if you want to watch it. But I love Persona eyeshadows. I was such a huge fan of their Identity palette, and this guy, honestly, same level of quality. It's beautiful. You've got like this satiny kind of sheeny shade called Off-White. You've got 3 matte shades and then this really beautiful sort of metallic-y copper. All of these shadows are so buttery, so blendable, really, really easy to work with. If you've never tried a Persona eyeshadow before, like, they're awesome. Just look at that swatchy goodness right there. The kit that this comes in also comes with a brush and an eyeliner for $38, which I think is a really good value. And honestly, what's nice about this is that it's very friendly to makeup newbies or people that kind of want a more simplistic makeup routine. That was sort of the whole inspiration for the Color Theory Kit in the first place. So I wanted to make something that made color accessible and easy. So you kind of have like everything you need to create a complete look here and nothing that you don't. You have your highlight shade, your crease transition, you have a lid shade, you have something to add a little bit more color and intensity if you want to go that route, and then you have something to darken up the outer corners or to use as like a smoky liner. So yeah, I've been using this a lot this month, really been enjoying it. It's really nice for everyday looks. You can get Persona at Ulta, so if you've been curious, I would say it's totally worth checking out. You know how I said I had 2 products left to talk about? Well, I kind of lied. Sort of lied. I have one last product to review and then like one sneak peek, one very exciting thing I need to tell you guys about. So I bought this guy also during the Sephora VIB sale. It is the Tarte Chrome Paint in the shade Top Yacht. I watch Samantha Ravindal's videos like religiously. I absolutely love her, and she was doing a video with Raw Beauty Christie arguing over what was the prettiest shade of these chrome paints, and I'm pretty sure they agreed that Top Yacht was the best, so that was the one that I got. And okay, so here's the thing with this. I think this is beautiful, but part of me is kind of like, did I really need this? So let me swatch for you. I mean, there's no denying this is like one of those super reflective, foiled, beautiful eyeshadows. It adds a beautiful, beautiful sheen to the lids. I think if you apply this with a brush, it doesn't go on quite as intensely. I think it goes on better if you kind of swipe it on with your finger. Kind of like a lot of other shadows in this texture, if you apply it over a glitter glue, you're gonna get a lot more punch, or if you foil it. But regardless, it's a really stunning eyeshadow, and I definitely enjoy it. I just sort of feel like, I'm pretty sure I have pressed shadows in this shade and in this kind of finish that I can get the same look from. And when I think about how expensive these are, I'm like, man, did I really need that? Why did I buy that? I think I was having FOMO also because the Hourglass Scattered Light eyeshadows kept selling out, and those looked really beautiful, and they're kind of a very similar deal, but even more expensive. So I wanted something. I wanted that kind of eye product, and now that I have it, I'm like, okay, yes, it's obviously shiny. It's super, super beautiful. If you like really wanted one of these, I'm not gonna say that it's like bad quality or anything like that. I just sort of feel like, is it really that special? I'm not really sure. I mean, it doesn't like create fallout. It lasts really beautifully. I've used this in several looks, especially like if I use just like a neutral eyeshadow palette and just kind of go in, buff a little color into the crease, and then put this all over the lid and into the inner corner. It's just one of those things where it's like, when you can get an eyeshadow palette for $30 and this is $24, $25, it's kind of like hard to say that something like this, a single color product, is really worth the splurge. So I'm having like a little bit of regret buying this. I'm gonna keep using it because I have it now, but I'm kind of like, man, Lauren, why did you do that? And then my exciting little sneak peek of things to come. This is extremely new. Like, the delivery man just brought this to me an hour ago, so I'm kind of still in that honeymoon phase where I'm swooning over its beauty. But I placed an order on Black Friday to Nabla Cosmetics, and I'm Italian. I'm half Italian. My dad's side of the family, 100%. So, you know, I gotta represent my heritage. Nabla is an Italian brand, and I have been stalking their Instagram all year. They have beautiful looks and some beautiful products, but shipping to the United States is like, it kills me a little bit. It's like 10 euros, which is more than 10 US dollars, to ship products unless you spend over $100, which I really didn't want to do on a first-time purchase for a brand, or like, you know, at all. But like every launch that I would watch appear on their social media pages was just so freaking beautiful this year, and I wanted it all so bad. So I've just been like slowly burning, like lusting after their products all of 2018, and then finally on Black Friday they had a sale, and now it wasn't like a huge discount, but it essentially was enough of a discount that it counteracted the cost of shipping. So I kind of mentally was like, okay, if I buy this palette now, it will be like I bought it without a sale and I didn't have to pay for shipping at all. So that was my justification, and I was torn because their Dreamy palette also like speaks to my soul. It is so beautiful. The packaging with the constellations is like my heart. But I kind of felt like the color scheme in that one was more similar to things I already have. So I was like, no, I don't need both. I can just pick one. So I got myself the Soul Blooming palette. Now I know this is not seasonally appropriate really at all. This was a spring launch of theirs, but oh my god, this palette is so freaking beautiful, and the color story in here is definitely different from the majority of the eyeshadow palettes that I own. It brought some really unique shades, and some of these kind of like more metallic-y foiled colors have the most beautiful duochrome finishes. Now, I'm not going to swatch this right now because it's pristine. I want to photograph it for a blog post because I do want to review this palette. So I'm gonna resist sticking my fingers in it right now. But I think what I will do is post some pictures to Instagram once I've done that, so you guys can see and appreciate how ridiculously gorgeous these shadows are. All the pictures I've seen online, they just look so freaking pretty. So I am super stoked to bust into this in December. So that is everything for this month's beauty report. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope this information was helpful, enjoyable to listen to. If you guys have tried any of these products, let us all know in the comments down below what your thoughts are. If these are things you love, if you're not really into it, are they worth buying? Are they not? Give us the tea. Let us know. If you guys enjoy product reviews, give this video a thumbs up. I always really appreciate your support. And if you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Maybe you should just click that button and then we can, you know, hang out again in the future. I've got lots of videos planned for December, so hopefully I will see you back here again soon. Alright guys, so with that being said, I'm gonna let you get back to your busy lives. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.